Hello and welcome back to my channel, Divine Libra Wisdom. This is the elemental reading for the month of July 2025 for fire signs. Sorry that the reading is a little bit late because we're a few days into July. I usually try to put these out the first of the month or the day before, just to get that new energy for the month, and so that we can prepare. But better late than never. So yeah, before I get started, I will say if you're new here or you're returning, thank you so much. But if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel, so that way you know when I post new videos, and eventually I may go live at some point. I have new videos coming up, as well as a Patreon, and I'm trying to figure out how to do that, or not how to do it necessarily, but how to go about doing it, because there's certain things that I want to include in the membership when people subscribe to the Patreon, and get myself more out there and reach more people. I also have a Discord coming for Divine Libra Wisdom, so I'm trying to figure that out, as well as I'm having to do a crash course in Discord because it's very complicated. I feel it's not as easy to do, so I'm learning how to get the Discord going. But yeah, so all that coming. So yeah, again, subscribe to the channel so that you know when I'm post new videos, and you can be up to date. Also, like the video, share the video, leave me a comment down in the comment section and let me know, if this resonates as you, go along listening to the video, and, share it with a friend who might like this, and also, watch, you don't have to watch this, you don't only have to watch this one, watch for your other placements, just to get a full scope of everything that could be impacting you for the month of July. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. And oh yeah, hold on. I said that the AC turning on just made me think of this. If you hear it in the background, I'm gonna try to talk louder so that I sort of drown it out. It's kind of loud, so hopefully it's not too bad. But you hear me, just the same. Also, I'll stop if it gets too loud, or whatever the case. I also have a little munchkin over here, that's my cousin's dog. He sometimes whimpers when she's gone and she's not here. So you may hear his little sounds in the background. So yeah, but other than that, I'll try to do my best. Also, cards that I'm using, the decks, will be in the description box, and any information that you need to get in contact with me if you want to do a reading. I don't reach out to people to do readings for them. Excuse me. You have to reach out to me, but I am open for bookings if you would like to have a personal reading with me. My prices are very affordable. So yeah, get at me if you are interested in that, and you want to find out, what the price breakdown is and what I offer. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get started for real this time. So if you're, looking at the picture that you see on the screen, you should see a Page of Swords, King of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, and then, we have the bottom row there with the Oracle card. And I'll get to that first, but first we go through the tarot first. All right, so first we have the Page of Swords. And with this, I immediately got someone feeling young at heart, or just someone who's young, and and they're sort of filled with that sort of youthfulness, that passion, where they want to go out and get it. They're the go-getter. So this month, fire signs could be very much in their go get it phase. They're trying to make moves, making strides. They're not taking no for an answer. they're going after what they believe in and standing up for what they believe in, rather. However, with fire signs, because they are naturally so passionate, naturally, quick to react, they can be sort of impulsive sometimes. So a lot of times this can, work against them in a way. So you kind of have to be mindful of how you sort of toe that line when it comes to how you act. You have to think a little bit before reacting. But other than this, with the page, usually they come with news of some sort. It can be good or it can be bad. So yeah, you may be receiving some news this month that makes you feel a little bit uneasy, because with swords, this is very sort of cerebral, sort of like in your mind. This is sort of like, I get the sense of like technical, or could be also dealing with perhaps like a court case, maybe that's what I'm getting or hearing in my mind. So maybe you may be dealing with something legal. I don't get the sense that this is something that is bad necessarily. It could just be like something like a technicality, or it's something like maybe like a ticket that you may have received or something, and you have to take care of it, or like could be like maybe child support, dealing with a child support case. What else am I getting? I'm also seeing like yeah, I'm hearing small claims court or something like that. Yeah, but whatever the case it is, I feel like it's something small. It's not, it's not serious. It's something that, and even though child support, sometimes it can get a little, iffy or ugly sometimes, when two parents are trying to figure out, how to kind of come to an agreement. But I feel like in this particular situation, I don't feel like it's bad. I feel like it's more so, just sort of recalibrating maybe, or, maybe, someone has to go back in and renegotiate certain terms when it comes to child support, or, marriage, or, maybe there's a divorce settlement happening, or, something like that. But I feel like in this situation it's mutual, like, it's amicable, if that makes sense. So yeah. But on the other hand, some of you could, be receiving some news that it makes you feel uneasy, or, it's sort of like an annoyance, something that's kind of a nuisance that you have to take care of, and you're like, ugh, it makes you say, ugh. But I still don't feel like this is something that it's going to set you back, if that makes sense. It's something that, it's kind of like a minor inconvenience that you sort of have to take care of. You have to maybe take a day off to sort of take care of it, or something like that. But moving forward, we come to the King of Pentacles, and this is sort of like gaining like a handle on your finances, or maybe you're leveling up on your finances. Yeah, like your material wealth. It could be increasing by something that maybe you got a new job, or you got a second job, or maybe you paid down some debts, and that sort of leads to you having more credit, where you can do more things, you can invest, you can take a trip that you've always wanted to take, that type of thing. And because I get the sense of some fire signs maybe haven't had a season where they were very unstable. Things are sort of happening left and right, and now you're sort of at a place where you can sort of maintain that stability, and you don't have to necessarily worry about how to make ends meet, if that makes sense. Excuse me. So yeah, that's what I get for King of Pentacles. yeah, by mid-month, a lot of you are getting a handle on things. Maybe it took you some time to maybe set a budget, and you can sort of move freely, move more freely with your money, or you're making your money work for you, is what I'm hearing. Okay, and so then we go to Seven of Cups. This represents illusion, fantasy. Maybe you have so many choices that it's hard to choose. So yeah, I feel like with the Seven of Cups and how it relates to the overall message here and the other cards is, now that you have, done all these things, you've received that news, and you have to, you take care of that thing that you needed to take care of. You've gotten a handle over your finances, and you got your budget set and all those other things. You're sort of like, okay, like, what do I do now? It's like one of those things where you're like, oh my goodness, I have so many options. What do I want to do? Where do I want to go? Do I want to go, take a trip here? Do I want to take a trip there? Or maybe I could work it in a way to where I can hit multiple different places on my trip or excursion or whatever. So yeah, right now you're sort of dealing with having so many choices, and it's kind of hard to choose from, or trying to figure out in which direction you want to go when it comes to a certain situation. Maybe you're trying to figure out if you want to change jobs. I'm hearing that. Also, different career path. Maybe you want to change your career path. That could be a thing as well. But I think that I get the sense that you're figuring that out, though. I don't think that you're having that hard of a time, but and I see actually the other card there off to the side that's supposed to be like the oracle message, or not the oracle message, I'm sorry, the affirmation. I wanted to kind of change it up this time, but so yeah, it says discernment right there. So a lot of you are, sort of giving yourself, instead of like acting impulsively, as many fire signs can do sometimes, you're giving yourself grace. You're giving yourself a chance to really, take a step back and think about the things that you want to do. Okay, so let's keep going. Now we're on the bottom row there with the oracle cards, and as you can see, I kind of had to cover some of them up. So if you see the little flower emoji over some of the cards, that just means that it's not Facebook friendly, so we need to cover that up. Okay. I'm sure y'all understand. So we have Katesh, and I think that's how you say that, sacred lust, and how it aligns with the Page of Swords. I feel like this is, again, not allowing your lust for certain things, or lust for, accomplishing, or lust for, acting without thinking. You're sort of giving yourself that grace and not doing that, not doing what you normally do or would normally do. You're like, okay, let me think about this. Let me take a step back. But you're also, you're allowing yourself to indulge when it's the right time to do so, if that makes sense. You're allowing yourself you're giving yourself that chance to do what you want to do, but also it's like you're working hard or you're playing hard. That's what I get. So yeah. So yeah, you're being responsible, but you're also giving yourself a chance to have fun too when it comes to that. All right, so next we have Queen Ya Asewante Tewa. Oh Lord, I'm pretty sure I butchered that name. So don't hold it against me. I'm gonna look up how to say these names correctly. But anyway, we have level up, and so with the King of Pentacles, it aligns perfectly with that, because what do we say? You're getting a handle over your finances. You're figuring out what you need to do. You're sort of able to gain your stability back, because things could have been very shaky for you lately, fire signs. And so right now, things have gotten to a point where you can sort of kind of rest on your laurels, and all that hard work that you were putting in has finally paid off, and you're sort of leveled up basically, and you can sort of sit pretty in a way, rest easy, and do some things that you want to do, as opposed to doing everything that you have to do, if that makes sense. And so then we have Oshun, fearless love. I feel like this sort of ties in with sacred lust as well. But yeah, like with Oshun, she's very much about leisure, pleasure, aesthetics, relaxation, and love. And so how I feel like this ties in with the Seven of Cups. There could be, for a lot of you fire signs, there could be a lot of things that have caught, a lot of people rather, that have caught your eye. And you're sort of trying to figure out, hey, do I want to be in this relationship with this person, or do I not? Do I want to be single, just date, and just have fun, or, whatever, you're trying to figure it out. But I feel like whatever the case, you have a lot of options, and you're trying to figure out which way you want to go, and so yeah, I just really feel like you all should just sort of lean more towards your options, and more so just kind of feeling things out, feeling people out. You don't have to make a decision right off the bat. Just allow yourself to have fun, allow yourself to be free, and because fire signs love freedom. So just don't tie yourself down into a relationship because you think that's what you have to do. You have to make a choice. You don't have to make a choice. Give yourself time, and to think about things before you just jump into them. And especially when it comes to relationships, a lot of times we may want to jump into a relationship right off the bat because we connect instantly with a person, but a lot of times that turns out not to be a good thing. You know what I'm saying? But most of all, follow your mind, follow your first mind. If it is telling you to get into a relationship, then by all means, follow your intuition. But us, again, you need, have that discernment, as we can see over there. Have that discernment to know, what's right for you and what's wrong for you. All right, and again, we get to the what's supposed to be the affirmation, which is discernment, and it says, "We are learning to discern the truth from the lies." Okay, so exactly what I've been saying. You have more information. You have more. I'm hearing intelligence. I don't know. Some of y'all work for the FBI or CIA or something. You're gaining more intelligence. I don't know. That could be like for a little small, a few of you or something like that, or just one person within the fire signs group. Excuse me for that. But yeah, you're with the discernment, you learn lessons, and you know how to move accordingly, and you're learning what it is that you want, and you're going for it. So that's what I feel with the discernment. All right, so fire signs, that was your elemental reading for the month of July 2025. That's what's coming up for you. If you have not already, gone through these things, it's right around the corner. So yeah, I'm not getting anything else from the cards. But again, like the video, share the video if you think others might enjoy these videos. Subscribe so that you know when I go or when I post new videos, as well as when I make the announcement for the Patreon. If you want to get in contact with me, my email will be in the description box below, and you can contact me if you have questions, or if you want to book a personal reading. I'm very affordable with my readings, and I am open to booking. So, get at me if you would like to receive that. Yeah, I think I covered everything. I can't remember anything else. Yeah, my mind is all over the place. But yeah, I truly enjoy reading for people, and yeah, I enjoy doing these. Again, sorry for how late it is that I'm putting these up. Life was lifing, and so yeah, a lot of things have happened in my life, but I wanted to go ahead and get these completed and get it out there. Also, I'm gonna say this again because I think I said it in the beginning, but oh yeah, and leave me comments down in the comment section if this resonated. Tell me how it resonated. And yeah. Also watch for your additional placements. You don't have to just watch for your sun sign. Watch for your moon sign. Watch for your rising sign. Watch for your what is it? Venus sign, that type of thing. All the things. You can watch all the elements for the signs. Just to get a overall scope of what your July might be like. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna end it there. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you next time. Have a good day. Bye.